Hello and welcome back everyone to Breath of the Wild opening Amiibos until Tears of the Kingdom comes out. I'm gonna level with you guys today. It is hot today. It is way too hot. So, I wanted to try enjoying the cold, even if only in a video game. And that's why we're out here, on a frozen mountain, without a shirt, holding our ice sword. And this is why we're gonna do Amiibos today. I'll tell you it isn't. So, I am Canadian, so I will be speaking in Canadian. I'm sorry to all my American viewers who don't know what I'm talking about when I say temperatures, but so it is plus 27 Celsius today, which is just way too hot. Less than a month ago, so somewhere around mid-April, there was still snow on the ground. There are still parts of town where if you drive out far enough and it's high enough up a mountain or whatever, I live in a town with lots of mountains, you will still see the snow. Maybe not after today because of the heat wave, but yeah, so my body has not yet adjusted from cold season to hot season, and I'm being very quickly thrown into hot season. And, hopefully try to give everyone a reference of just how hot, or I guess how cold, my body is adjusted to. So many months over winter when I was working in a kitchen, it was regularly minus 45, sometimes minus 40 or minus 50 degrees Celsius again, but so Fahrenheit and Celsius meet at minus 40. So minus 40 in one is the same in the other. So you can figure out from there, it was at least colder than minus 40. And there was a day when our heat stopped working in the restaurant. And so someone went up on the roof to try to fix it. And they kept accidentally redirecting all the cold air from outside directly down the vents that are above the cooking station where I was working. And blowing freezing cold air in there to the point we could all see our breath. And we had to close the restaurant an hour early that day because all the guests were freezing to death. It was so gosh darn cold that day. But to me, when the cold air hit me, I loved it. I was like, yes, finally some cold air cooling me off in this kitchen. So my body had been fully adjusted to the cold climate at that point. And now I'm going from, being ready for those temperatures. And, my work uniform was just a t-shirt. It's not like I would be wearing a hoodie or a coat in the kitchen. So I was taking pretty much the full brunt of that cold and enjoying it to a degree. So going straight from there to being so hot today. My body is just in temperature shock. It is ridiculous. I'm not even commenting on the stuff we're getting. I'm sorry, guys. Yay, Nagorso. I am out of it. I'm hot, and the heat makes me tired. And I'm groggy from it. Bubbles is outside right now. She's playing outside. It's late at night, so sun's down. It's cooled down a good bit. Probably not still still plus 27 right now. Sure, it has cooled down, so hopefully she's fine. She was meowing at me like crazy to let her out. I think she actually likes the heat. Is the insane thing. It was crazy. I remember a few years ago, it got way too hot in December. It was sorry for mildly sad story warning. It was so hot that it actually ended up killing my grandfather. He was outside and passed out from the heat and collapsed into his driveway, and he wasn't found for a while. And then when they got him to the hospital, he was just kind of gone, and he was alive in the hospital, but he had deteriorated to a point where he wasn't going to recover. And that's how hot it was, and it gets hotter every year somehow. And that year, my whole family, as I live with my father and my older brother right now, and I did back then as well. We had to find a colder place to sleep at night. And we all ended up going into the basement into a storage room, and the three of us would sleep in there just to stay cold enough to manage the heat. We actually pretty much ended up spending all day every day down there, but while we were down there, Bubbles would stay upstairs and lie down on my bed and chill in the sunlight, and I do not know how she handles heat so well. Why is this Amiibo not scanning? You think your cat takes after you when you raise her so long, and then one day you find out she's her exact opposite. Kinda curious, will this freeze? Because I know meat will freeze. Doesn't look like that will, though. Maybe apples will, because you can get baked apples. Tunic of Twilight, nice. And another good rare drop. Kind of funny, it makes you think, all the stories that Egyptians used to worship cats as gods, which I think, don't quote me on this, do your own research if you actually care, but I think that actually was debunked, and they just thought that cats were able to ward off evil, and so they treated cats very well. But they didn't literally think they were gods or anything. I could be very wrong on that, so if you're curious about that subject, do your own research. This isn't a learning channel. This is just me rambling about stuff. So I wonder if somehow, somewhere in my cat's genes, even though she's lived her whole life in Canada, if she still has a gene that allows her to live in the heat as well. Todd's insane, though. I'm talking about Bubbles lying in the sun. That man... Oh, and there goes my axe. That man, he's a cat, I call him that man. He will go outside no matter what. It'll be -40 and he'll meow at us until we let him outside. And he's 13 years old. He has survived doing it all these years. I don't know how. And might not see him till the next day sometimes. Or it'll be pissing rain and a thunderstorm and he goes outside and is out there for a few hours. He comes back in soaking wet. Did not mind the rain at all. I don't know why I'm switching that. Did not mind the rain at all. And burning hot outside. Take a step out there and the pavement burns your feet. And again, he'll want to hang out outside. And it's like, Todd, I get that you're, a wild beast, so to say. No, he's not. He's a very pampered domestic cat. But he wants to pretend he's a wild beast. And he will live outside no matter the temperature or weather conditions. And it scares me sometimes. Some days, could you please... I'm trying to do Amiibos. Alrighty. What was I even saying? Something about Todd. I think he is not afflicted by weather conditions. He has some special trait. The outdoorsman trait in Project Zomboid. I was actually saying why it worries me. Because we also get really strong windstorms once in a while. You'll see like a trash can get knocked over outside, or the trees sometimes almost look sideways. Because there's lots of trees around where I live in. Those are the times when I'm like, no, Todd, you're not allowed outside right now. I let you out wind, snow, rain. Not wind. Heat, snow, rain, but I'm genuinely afraid because you are a small cat that you will get picked up and tossed away from the wind one of these days. That's pretty much the only time. That and Halloween. Because I'm always afraid with all the hooligans up to no good wandering the streets on Halloween night. I just don't want anything bad to happen to Todd. I worked with a guy up at a logging camp one time. And graphic girl story warning. Very, very sorry for sensitive viewers. He was telling me a story about a cat he had that he loved, and he was like the boss of the whole camp. He was a pretty nice guy. But he's telling me the story about a cat he had that he loved, and he let it out, and some neighborhood kids killed it and pinned it to a tree. And he was mortified by it. I just never want that to happen to my cats. I don't want that to happen to any creature. Well, except for whatever kids did that to the cat, and they can get pinned to the fucking tree. Jesus Christ. So yeah, that is why on Halloween, when hooliganism is at its highest, I don't want my cats outside. Bubbles is good, you know, she listens to me very well. My family calls her my familiar. You know, she's follows all my commands. She's always by my side when she can be. To an annoying degree, she'll scratch at the bathroom door while I'm in there trying to do my business. And, you know, if I tell her something like, hey, Bubbles, come back inside, she'll come right back inside. Or I'm like, hey, Bubbles, you better be here by the time it gets dark. And then I open the door as soon as it starts getting dark, and she's there waiting for me. I bring her inside, so she's good. She's good with all that. But Todd does not listen at all. And that is why he concerns me. Because it is harder to protect him. Because he's a cat, man. He can do whatever he wants. We have fences around our whole yard taller than I am. I managed to keep the dog in just fine, but not him. He hops right over him and leaves. He's like, no, peace out, guys. I'm going to go on an adventure. And we're like, well, can't stop you. Have fun. You're a lot faster than I am. Not like I can chase you down. Ooh, I am glad that did not land on the exploding chest. That could have been bad. Looks like it's going away all on its own. Going on a little Todd adventure. Okay, now I'm curious. Come back. I was actually trying to shield it. Oh! Did we get a kill with that? We killed something with that. I saw an empty health bar. Best accidental kill I've ever gotten. I don't know. There have been plenty of times when I have been chopping trees and they fall down on squirrels or birds or whatever in this game. But I think an Amiibo chest just kind of rolling away on its own, that's amazing. Alrighty. Tears of the Kingdom is just around the corner, eh? Less than a week away now. Biggest fear right now is spoilers. It's gonna be hard because I really love reading and responding to all the comments and interacting with you guys. But when Tears of the Kingdom comes out, I'm gonna be very much in it. Please do not spoil this gosh darn game for me. Headspace, and I'm gonna be so afraid of looking at the comments. Something even looks like it might be leading up to a spoiler, I'm just going to ignore it. Hit the ignore button, not look at it. So yeah, for all my viewers, please don't spoil the game when it comes out. On the bright side though, because I'm going to be playing it all day, every day, right? So I'm going to do probably multiple episodes a day. So whatever episode you guys are on will likely be far behind where I am in the game when it comes out. So hopefully that will be one good way to avoid spoilers. You know, I'm walking into a room and you're like, and I'm like, alright, I'm gonna end the episode here, and then the comments are like, oh, but you walk in there and there's a super dick hydra that just spurts all over the place. It's in that room, it's really cool, and luckily I will have been past that point. So I won't have to be too worried. Whenever I use examples, I always try to make them as, like, wild and joking as I can. Because there have been times when I made things not wild and joking, and I'm like, you know, and then I'm going to walk into the room and there's going to be like a three-headed dragon that bites me. And then that happens, and then like the person I was playing with was like, dude, why would you spoil that? And it's like, I didn't spoil it, I was joking. That wasn't supposed to happen. I didn't know what would happen next. So stuff like that, and like, you know, when I'm playing a Dark Souls game, that actually tends to happen a lot. So that's why my examples are always ridiculous. And I'm certain Nintendo would never put a Dick Hydra in their game, so we're probably pretty safe on that one. Well, Cradilly. But I don't think Cradilly, maybe Cradilly, was intentionally a Dick Hydra Pokemon. And I'm so glad that I don't have enough subs to be monetized yet, or the amount of times I've said Dick Hydra would definitely have this video demonetized. I can do whatever I want. I'm as free as can be right now. The YouTube overlords hold no power over me. They cannot silence me. Some nice bomb arrows. Kinda expecting more food to freeze, but yeah. I guess when food's gonna cook, you see it start smoking. There might not be a crowd stamina. There we go. Okay, so that's like sudden when it freezes. Wanted to see what would happen. I guess I'm not gonna cluck that because I shouldn't eat it. Nom. Oh yeah, I made a potion when I was saying we're alchemists. I was gonna kind of leave him frozen there for the wildlife to pick out or whatever. So how's everyone doing today? And of course, as always, I hope you're well. I hope all of you are well almost every day. And I say almost because if you're, you know, if you always have a good day, they start to run together and get boring. But if you have a bad day once in a while, you gotta enjoy your good days even more. So there you go. So I hope almost all of your days are good. And when you have a bad day, it's not too bad. Royal Claymore, attack up 20. That is a vicious... I'm actually going to toss this for that. Because I've been powering through shrines lately. And so many of them are dumbass test his strength shrines. So having a weapon like this will be very helpful. And hopefully I don't break it on Amiibos in this episode. So I have time to use it on other stuff. Oh. I guess that means we're on our last Amiibo already. I'm so pumped by fasts. Why did that meat freeze so fast? Is it getting colder? Is it because it's nighttime now? Frozen hearty salmon. Yum nom. Alrighty. Bomb arrows 5. Nice. Those are like one of the most useful arrows. You can use them to blow up rocks and get to shrines and everything. Alrighty, thank you all so much for watching. Really glad you joined in today. Hope you have a fantastic day, and please make good choices. Bye bye.